Hello, everyone. Welcome to Academy of Astrology UK. Let's talk about fixed star. In today's episode, we're going to introduce a very special star. Of course, we introduce the special star. We need our special guest, Christian. Hi, Christian.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Rod. I'm so thrilled. It's Polaris, and I love this star.
Polaris. And then, so I think Polaris means the on the pole, right? It's a right on the pole. But when we talk about Polaris, but I think I hope this is not because we living in North Hemisphere, so we only care about North Hemisphere and we just don't give a fuck about South Hemisphere. So only North Hemisphere have Polaris, have a pole star. How about the South Hemisphere?
There is a pole star, of course, there is. But unfortunately, it's not that bright than on the northern hemisphere. But there's a tiny, faint something.
Okay.
We will talk about this later, I think.
Okay. So, but also, I have another question. Is that so? Polaris is mean that star close to the North Pole. So does that mean it's fixed there, or it always going to be changed a little bit?
Yeah, actually, the prominent position, the holy position of a pole star changes due to precession. And I've prepared a little video about precession and the pole star in our presentation, so you will see.
We'll cover this today. Wow, fantastic. I think everyone must be thrilled because, well, these kind of things involved with astronomy, precession. Everyone here, when all astrologer hear about precession, is like, oh my God, headache. So today we were going to understand the precession and the pole star and how they're going to change and the Polaris and what does that mean? Okay, well, to be honest, and the Polaris is the particular star to help me, to be honest, to help me understand one thing. How on the Earth my moon in 29-degree conjunct with Polaris? Zodiac is here. Polaris is there. Are they going to conjunct each other? For God's sake. Sorry, I'm a little bit rude today, but I don't know why I'm a little bit hyper also. Maybe just because when we record this film, Mars just moved into Aries. So I'm just like, agitated. Okay, so I don't want to waste time. Let me start about our usual thing. So should I start with it? Okay, do
yes,
our
please.
little bit like a general introduction about Polaris. Well, so let's talk about fixed star. So first, I usually like to share their location. Okay, especially today, Polaris, I definitely have to mention a little bit about its declination. So in astronomy, Polaris, today's Polaris, or I would say the pole star in the North Pole is in Ursa Minor, the little bear, and its magnitude still quite bright, plus 1.95. So it's not super bright, but still visible. And lucky enough, to be honest, because if you look at the sky, you will say, how I'm going to find the Polaris. First, Christian prepare a video to talk about it later. But I will tell you, don't worry, when you look at the north direction and look up in the sky, to be honest, there are not many bright stars. If you can find it at 0-degree north and you look in the sky, there's not many stars on that line, to be honest, and not many bright stars around the pole area. That's the only one near there. Only a little bit, not too bright and not too dim. So you can always find it. And if you find it, memorize it. If you go to that location very often, like if you have your stargazing place, you usually go there, that is going to help you because pole star is always there. It's not going to move. For me, for example, I remember a tree in my garden because the pole star is always up on that tree. It's not going to change. So for me, it's super easy. When I see that tree, I see that is north, and I can see the star on top of that tree is the pole star. It's never going to change. So easy. Another thing is the declination. Okay, the declination is plus 89 degrees. So that means from the celestial equator, it nearly 90 degree, nearly 90 degree. So that's our North Pole. That's our North Pole. More important for astrologer, for us, I mean, today is degree. Okay, this is very essential. I maybe call me geek, call me nerd, or call me like a terrible astronomy police. Its degree is 28 degree Gemini 52 minutes, but in year 2000 it's 28 degrees 33, and in 1980 it's 28 degrees 17. Okay, one thing I have to say, because I just noticed when sometimes I use some software, especially in astrology software, I don't know either my setting, maybe it's my fault, my setting, or either the original software setting are using the degree from 1980s or to year 2000s. So there is a few minutes away. I just last time when I tried to find a star, I just like wondering, say, why that star is not there. And I realized the software did not update the ephemeris. So always double check your star position. Are they still use year 2000? That was 20 years ago. That's fine. But if you ephemerize the software you use, the ephemeris still use 19,000, that would be a huge problem. Okay, just double check with that. So, well, here is the star map from the stellium. Okay, here is the pole star, and we can see belong to the Ursa Minors, and near it is the Draco and the Ursa Major and the Curvius. So all the star around the just orbit around the pole star, orbit around pole star. Later, Christian will tell us the story about these everything going around the pole. But another thing is astrology. We like Ptolemy, everything, and the Robertson. So let's read how they think about it. To be honest, today when I read, but not today, when I read Robertson, I say, fine, it's okay, it's reasonable. But let's see. Robertson say, well, it has a nature of Saturn and Venus. Well, okay, Saturn and the Venus, and it causes much sickness, trouble, loss of fortune, disgrace, and great affliction. Well, sounds like pretty bad about this poor star. If you have any planet conjunct poor
Thank you.
star. Yeah, when I say conjunct, now it's quite terrible when I say conjunct, or I will try to say align. I will try to say align. That's our rule. But I like to conjunct with a poor star, then well, sounds pretty bad. Sickness, trouble, and the lost money doesn't really fit my imagination of pole star, because you think about pole star, there's a sacred place, but this sacred place make you ill, make you sick, make you trouble, make you lose money. Ooh, well, and evil. Oh God, okay. But let's see everything. I like it idea. The pole star serves as a guide indicator. Oh my God, thank God. So at least someone is reasonable, to be honest, someone is reasonable. If the conjunction, again, sorry, conjunction with planet in the angle, the native will have a good sense of direction. That means, to be honest, this means everyone living near equator area, like the country, you know, around that line, 0-degree equator, they all have a good sense of a direction because their pole star is on the horizon. Okay, and then so the planet on angle have a good sense of direction and able to follow his instinct and clearly recognize his aim and will pursue it and achieve them. It sounds reasonable because if you think as a direction, as a guide or as a point to guide you to the direction. I think everything's interpretation is pretty follow the idea of the how these stars function and how it works. But I know that Christian prepared the from the mythology how we read these pole, right?
Yes, a few myths I've prepared.
Yes.
So once again, I have to find my presentation and I started. So here is one of the two celestial poles. It's another way to show it. Rod showed it before. So this celestial pole is the northern extension of the Earth axis. And to the observer upon the Earth, the entire firmament seems to revolve around it. Look at this video later on. Rod will show you more spectacular ones he and a friend of him made. This one is not that spectacular, I'm sorry. You see, everything revolves around,
Oh yeah.
orbits around it.
Oh, we start have a trail.
And for our Nordic ancestors, this movement was maintained by the gods. So the celestial pole was Asgard, the residence of the gods.
Oh, so we can find Loki and Thor and Freya, Frigga.
Yeah, they believe that. All right. And in order to save the firmament from collapse, they imagined a column that stretched from the center of the Earth to the celestial pole. It's called the world column Irminsul. And the word ash was also used as an image.
Ah.
So the north became the sacred direction, and the star closest to the pole became the guiding star. And this changed dramatically with the triumph of Christianity, because the most sacred places of Christianity are in the east, not the north. And from then on, the east has been sacred. And the north, where the old gods lived, became the place of demons. And in Scandinavian churches, where the old gods survived the longest, the church windows facing north were bricked up as a precaution. And with the discovery of the magnetic North Pole and the invention of the compass, seafarers looked north again, and new maps, as we used to say, were oriented to north. So Polaris, the current pole star, is quite close to the celestial North Pole, the northern extension of the Earth's axis. And Polaris is located in the tip of the tail of the little she-bear, Ursa Minor, as Rod said. And yes, it's a bearess and not a bear. I think this is important.
Ah, okay.
Polaris is the brightest star in this constellation. And as we have seen and will see, everything orbits around it. And it's the only star that seems to stand still, the only fixed point in the sky. So everything else is in motion, everything else is constantly changing. So therefore, and this is Bernadette Brady's approach, once again, for this reason, Polaris is a place of standstill, silence, of meditation, of timelessness, of being embedded. So the point of our life. And that is why this place was and is the holiest point in the entire firmament, a place of female energy, a place of birth, a place of emergence.
Hmm.
So Polaris leads to north. It calmly observes from its throne, and the pole star gives us the opportunity to go into our center in inner peace. And from this center, we feel our connection with everything, so we can come to the self. Because Polaris is so special, it has many names.
Mm-hmm.
They used to call it the way, or the gate of heaven, or
Mm-hmm.
simply the pointer, or Stella Maris, the star of the sea, or the navel of the world.
Mm.
Its Indian name is Dhruva. Probably I pronounce it wrong, therefore I wrote it down. Dhruva, which means fixed, constant, and unchangeable. And Dhruva also represents silence and meditation. And in Indian mythology, Dhruva was a young prince who left his palace to meditate intensively in the forest for 6 months. And he attained immortality. And because a pole star can always be seen up high in the sky, the northern hemisphere, of course, it is the star of Dhruva who also attained immortality and eternity. It never sets. Due to precession, the pole moves in a circle, and as most of you will know, one round lasts 26,500 years. And I've created an animation for you that illustrates 10,500 years of precession in 1.5 minutes.
Thank God.
I wanted to show you the whole cycle, but
Please.
the Swiss ephemeris didn't allow this. It's only from 5,500 BCE to 5,500 our times. So here we go, 10,500 years in 90 seconds.
Wow. That is fantastic. So are you going to, yeah, Hope, okay. I think you're going to explain.
Polaris is still moving towards the exact North Celestial Pole. It's not that exact. It will be exact in 2102, and it will reach its smallest distance to the North Celestial Pole in this time.
Okay.
As you've seen in the animation, I put the word pyramid construction.
Yes.
At that time, Thuban in the constellation Draco was a pole star. It was about 2,400 BCE.
Okay, I have a question. So the red circle we saw here now is the orbit of our North Pole, isn't it?
Yes.
Because that's what you're trying to show us in the Egyptian, when the pyramid was built, the north, our north pole point to the Thurbin in the
Yes.
Draco, and then today it moved to the tip point tail of the Ursa Minors, and it will continue moving.
Yes.
Okay.
So it will be the next pole star after our Polaris will be in 7,530. It will be Aldebaran in Cepheus, the king of the starry sky. And then in 10,700, Delta Cygni will become the pole star.
Okay.
And in 13,900, it will be Vega.
Oh God, where we would be at that time. And many incarnations.
Yes.
If the Earth and the solar system still exists.
Hopefully, yes. And as we mentioned before, in the southern hemisphere, here's a picture of the south celestial pole.
Yeah.
There is no star of comparable brightness near the south celestial pole. So we are lucky on the northern hemisphere.
Yes, because I also wrong, because I also very interesting about this question, and I may be over the wrong timing, but I remember around between 500 maybe 500 BC or something, the small Magellan Cloud was in the North Pole around that time. I did run. So you can use that, run a quick research. I saw the South Pole because you can see the two Magellan Cloud, and the small Magellan Cloud was around that area, around something like around the 500 BCE that time, and it was very interesting. But
yeah, this is interesting, and this is precession in progress.
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's just a tiny little star in this constellation, Octans, I think.
Octan,
right.
yes.
Yeah. So how can you find Polaris in the starry sky? Not everyone is as lucky as you are, Rod, with your tree in the garden.
Yes.
But
true.
Actually, it's very easy.
Yes.
You just have to find the rear of the great she-bear, and what we call the Big Dipper.
Yes.
And what we call the Big Dipper is actually just a small part of the great she-bear. And now look at these two stars of the so-called Big Dipper and extend the imaginary connection between the two stars about 5 times until you come to a bright star, and this is Polaris. As you said, there are not so much bright stars in this part of the sky.
Yes.
So I do stop.
Okay. Well, so yes, I think I would like to continue a little bit about astronomy first, then I will go to the Chinese story. Okay, so yes, the Christian just mentioned about it. So we always worry about people don't know astronomy, so try to teach them. Anyway, but it's very interesting. Another way to find a pole star is if you couldn't find the Big Dipper Ursa Major. Then another way you can try is you use your compass. You use today you can use it on your phone. You find the compass, you find the north direction. And if you are in North Hemisphere, this is only happen in North Hemisphere. First, you know your latitude. So like suppose, I think it's quite lucky your town and my city are in the same latitude.
Yes.
Something like a 52-ish, right? 52-ish. Yes. So remember this. I think this is Astronomy 101. Pole stars the angle of pole star is always equal your latitude in North Hemisphere. So we are in north 52°. So that means the pole star will be 52° above horizon. And how much is a 52°? So you standing in your place and face to north and take your hand out with a fist on the horizon. So your bottom of fist, I aim to the horizon. And then this is 10°. A face is 10°. So 20, 30, 40, 50. So that angle, you will see a star. That's your pole star. Suppose if I go back to Taiwan, Taiwan is a 25°. Taipei is 25°. How am I going to do? So same, face to north and take my hand out, and then 2 because it's 20, so only 2, and then a little bit half. So that would be the pole star area. So, and this also explains quite a lot why there is those star is never set, and why North Pole is so low near the horizon in the kind of tropical area, because it's follow your latitude. So this is another way. If you couldn't find the Big Dipper, you use the measurement. Okay, then let me go to the Chinese story, because in the beginning I say, well, I was thinking everyone was thinking about the pole star would be the same, because it's North Pole, is the direction where never changed. But interesting, because I find out, oh, okay, thanks for procession. To be honest, I think thanks for procession. I have a story to tell. I have a story to tell too. Okay, the first, today's North Pole, today's pole star in his Chinese name called Gou Chen Yi. Okay, it's the first star of the Gou Chen constellation. First star of the Gou Chen constellation. What does Gou Chen mean? Gou Chen means a back hook. It's a hook. So you can see here, you can see I've marked it out. It's a hook. So it looks like a hook, but you will imagine this is a pole, like a Ursa Minor. No, this is only tail part of an Ursa Minor, and a little bit other star in the curves. Okay, but it's true that this area still belong to Sky Emperor, but it's quite interesting, because there's so many area in Chinese astronomy belong to Sky Emperor. Here belong to Sky Emperor, there belong to Sky Emperor, there belong to Queen, there belong to Queen, every corner. Well, anyway, so, but it's interesting. This central area of sky is belong to Sky Emperor and his courtyard. And then, but very interesting. I think here is a little idea. I don't want to say she make a mistake. Maybe it's procession and without examination. So in her book, Elizabeth Everything say Chinese consider the pole star as the great owner lord of heaven, which this idea is correct. Is correct, but the location are different. Because I think it's definitely because of procession. Definitely because of procession. Where ancient Chinese astronomer or astrologer consider as a North Pole or the Polaris star is in the body of Ursa Minor. So the pole star or emperor, the emperor of sky, is in beta Ursa Minors, not today's alpha. So it's in beta, is here. I think this is this is not far from Thuban. So this is the procession change between the Egyptian time to today's time. This is how ancient Chinese astronomer or ancient Chinese astrologer thinking is pole star and the where living of the emperor, sky emperor. But today's pole star in ancient Chinese view belong to back hook, which represent queen, represent the queen. So it's not the emperor. But I think this is position. I don't want to say Elizabeth everything was wrong. No, she just take it from the translation, which is true. North Pole belong to Sky Emperor, but the exact position, I think because of position, they are talking about Beta Ursa Minus rather than today's pole star. This is one thing. And they belong to the, so today's pole star is belong to hook constellation, or we call back hook. So it's a hook you hang your clothes. And but this is the area for queen or the royal guard, because around the king, around the emperor, so you usually have a guard to protect him, which shows protection. This means protection. Okay, so the meaning of the pole star today in China is named in Chinese astronomy, suggests protection, guardian, guard, or maybe a queen position. But there's a mythology behind it. It's quite interesting, especially the next things we're going to talk about related to recent cultural things. It's mean I say the name of this constellation called Gochen. But in the later, the Taoism scholar talking about the Gochen in another way. I think it's one to harmony that kind of a 5 element in Chinese Taoism idea. So in Western, we have a 4 element, or plus ether is a 5 element. But in Chinese culture, we have 5 elements. It's a fire, water, metal, earth, and wood. So the 5 direction, east direction, that's belong to wood and the dragon. The west direction belong to tiger. That's why last time we showed when we're talking about the Alin, we showed a tiger. That's belong to west direction, tiger, and the metal. And then the north direction belong to turtle and water, and south direction belong to fire and birds. But the center is the pole area. The center is pole area. Later on, those scholars thinking there is a 5th animal, the 5th element, Earth, should be named. So the Earth is the center. And the Earth, there's a magic creature called Qilin. Qilin or Qilin. Okay, in Chinese we call Qilin. Okay, Qilin in central. Okay, Qilin in central can represent the Earth element. I think this year there is a movie called what they call a fantastic beast and the Dumbledore's secret. And the Qilin was appear in this movie. Quite interesting. But it's very interesting. I want to talk about a little bit about this magic creature. This magic creature, Qilin, only appear in a peaceful time. So today, I don't think he will be there present with us, because usually has to be peaceful time. Or when a great ruler, when a great king, great emperor appear in the world, or when a great sage, like a very wise man, super wise man, was born or was dead. Okay, maybe yes, a great king or great wise man was born or was dead, then he will appear to pay his respect or show the sign. Another thing need to mention about the Qilin is that this creature is super kind, super kind. It never wanted to hurt any existence in our earth, from human being, from animal, to a little worm, tiny worm. If he noticed that, he would never want to hurt it. So it represents kindness. And even the flower doesn't want to hurt flower or herbs. That doesn't matter if it's a worm or plant. It shows the kindness of this creature. And well, so Gochen also, because as I say, this is not the center of the sky in the ancient Chinese astrology. So it play an assistant role rather than emperor. So it offer guidance, it offer assistance. Okay, so this is our view in ancient Chinese view of the pole star, because it wasn't a pole star in that time, but this star offer assistance, help, and the protection. So I think today I want to show a little bit like a Christian already mentioned the star trail. In the astrophotograph, in astrophotograph, well, all the astrophotograph, you need a patient, you need to stand in the night, in the dark night for hours to take a photo. But the star trail, even more difficult because you have few technique, like you take a long exposure, of a camera, but some camera doesn't fit that. So what you can do is you take 100 photo or 1,000 photo and stack them together. And today the work I show is from Peter's photo, and he is a big fan of Star Trail. So all the photo was taken from him, and all the clip is from him. If you like it, please let us know. Okay, Peter usually just like take a lot of Star Trail. He probably take like 500 photo, and he write a little program to stack them together. So this is the star trail of the North Pole. So when you see the North Pole, you will see the pole star here. This is the pole star, and you can see it still move. It still move a little bit. And all the other star orbit around the pole star. Okay, so and the light you can see depend on light pollution. If you are in place like if you see this picture, you know there's a little bit of light pollution because you can see there is a gradient on the horizon. See this one? This is my tree. I told you this is my tree. This is my garden. So this is my tree, and the pole star is just right above it. And you can see a little bit better. The light pollution is a little bit better. We take a little bit longer exposure, and you can see the star trail. Okay, I try a few times about star trail, always fail because I'm too greedy. I want to take a 1 hour shot, but my camera always refuse to save the big file. So I eventually have to use Peter's file. Okay, this is different. This is, I think, definitely taken from Brighton. Now you can see because Brighton is face south, so you can see some star. They go different directions. Have you noticed? This on the top go around the North Pole.
Yes.
Yeah, and on the south they go another direction.
Yes.
Because in the middle here are the star around the celestial equator. So now you can see this is how the sky work. On the north they orbit North Pole. On the south they orbit South Pole. That's why I want to show today this photo because they go different direction. Then let me show. Yeah, the other two are the same. You can see this is in Stonehenge, and so you can see this straight line are we can say this is the celestial equator, and then from here this is orbit the north, and then this is the orbit of the south. And like Christian showed a little bit image, so Peter also did some very beautiful gifts. Or we say movie, a short movie. Let's see. This one is quite short, so you can see how it works.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, just show it again. You can see this is a pole star. Okay, he make a lot, and I think this is down to Devon. This is down to Devon. It's quite beautiful, and then still face to north. I think still face to north. So you can see.
Yeah.
Oh, the orbit, so beautiful.
Wow, wow.
And you can see the cloud moving behind, water moving.
The water.
Yes, beautiful. Let's look at it again.
Wow.
I really like this photo. Yeah. And another one. Oh, this is when we were in the Tenerife, in the mountain El Teide. So sky is super broad, sky is super dark. Now you can easily to see few famous stars. Of course, you will notice this one, Andromeda Galaxy. This is Andromeda Galaxy, and then these two called double cluster. Double cluster, I think one of them is Capulus, rather than, I think people usually call Capulus is M something, as it's not right. This is the Capulus, okay? It's in the double cluster. And I think pole star is here. Must be this one. Must be this one. So because we are in the south and face the eclipse in the north, now you can see it's very different.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, wow, whole sky is bright when you do the star trail,
Yeah.
because this is the area where I have a super low light pollution. So the amount of star you can see is a lot. When this clip finish, nearly whole screen will become white. But you can still see in the near the North Pole, there's not many stars there. That's why very easy to spot on the North Pole. Again.
It's just breathtaking, this video.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Hey, if you like, I can ask Peter send you the photo and you can use it. He really like it.
Wow.
Like when you see that you can really feel that, like you say, eternity.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
everything's
Yes.
changing.
Yes.
But this is, wow, stay there. Okay, another one, this because, okay, now I can explain. This one you will not see the circle because this is the Stonehenge and we face south. We face south. I know the direction, and you can see the Milky Way. You can see the Milky Way. So here is around Sagittarius, okay, and Scorpio around this area. So you can see they are in the south hemisphere. They are in the south celestial hemisphere. So they are all played around south.
See the two circles.
Yeah, let's do it again. See if you can see the two circles. So if you look on the top, they go this direction and the south go this direction. You really can see the two circles. So, well, this is today our, let's talk about the fixed star. And well, thanks everyone for watching. And you can find me on Instagram and Telegram at AOAUK. And you can join our fixed star group on the Facebook, Fixed Star Astrology. Also, you know, on our the YouTube channel. So you can also email me aoa.inquiry@gmail.com. Our producer is Yevita, but I think today I have to mention because Yevita is a little bit under the weather, so she's not going to produce this episode. I think this episode will be just uploaded directly like this. So we behave ourselves. Usually we will have some, you know, naughty joke or rude joke and talking, and we will cut, Yevita will cut it off for us. Today we have behaved myself, and well, so next week would be the our faculty team come back talking about transit in June and transit in June. And then by the end of the month, me and Christian will come back, talk about another fixed star. Well, so thank you, everyone. Thanks, Christian.
Thank you, Rod. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Bye.
Okay, bye. Stay in tune. Bye-bye.